Is also on a mixed forest in Prescott, Wisconsin. The endangered species are not many, but there is a bird called Kirtland's warbler right here. This is a Kirtland's warbler. It's also called in science Diandrica kirklandi. There's another bird called black tern. Black tern is right here. If you see it. Okay. And it's called Chilandius niger, along with upland sandpiper. That upland sandpiper is right here. It's a very nice shell-looking plant. Actually, it is this right here. I don't want that, but this is it. And its name is Bartamaria longicauda. There's fawn's foot. That is a shell right here. That's a fawn's foot. You have the beach dune tiger. It is right here. And you have Sixunda pertfolius rondahensis is its scientific name. An Otto skipper. It's a colorful orangey one. And then you have an Isid plant thropper. And finally, a leaf thropper. Looks kind of like a grasshopper, doesn't it? So a mixed forest. So there is both the broadleaf trees and the coniferous trees. As I am standing, I am next to the broadleaf trees here. The coniferous trees are usually located up on the road or at Low Seas Pond, located deep in the woods, where I can show you later. Okay. Plants in the forest that are produced by spores. They are also called rhizomes, and they are ferns, or they're one of the podophytes. They are used to reproduce only by sperm or by spores, and since they are by spores, they stay produced and they stay growing in the woods. And they're all over the back of my woods, and nobody thinks about cutting them down. I'm so glad, because they are the most beautiful plant I ever see around here. This forest is also used for two different reasons. Our monoculture, and it is also used for productivity. So there's some places for monoculture and some places for productivity. I will give you a brief explanation and show you them where they are. The forest is apparently split between monoculture and productivity, like I said before. This is used for monoculture. Long ago, there were more trees down, but this is all I can use for my best explanation. And of course, actually this is monoculture right here. This is all monoculture for the woods. This was once used for productivity down here. Okay? So this is now shared with productivity because long ago this was used for timber. When lightning strikes or an oak tree dies, also a quercus, as the science name. The tree is cut for firewood. It is used to save money on the heating bills for productivity. GoPro, stop recording. Or this is an example of some of the construction equipment down there. It's not as big as the one I mentioned, but here. I wonder what it's doing. I hope it will not tear down too much of the trees and it will let nature be. But I think somebody is making a new lot or something like that. These plants right here, these plants are nettles. They're also called Urtica dosa. They have modified cells located on the underside of the leaves. I'm not going to show you because I might get stung, because on these plants they have formic acid. The formic acid feels like needles, so look out. Yep, I got stung by them a few times before. When you touch it, so if you are never stung by a nettle, try not to touch the spots where you were stung, and the sting will go away soon. There are also some buckthorn. These plants are such as buckthorn, ramus in scientific name. This comes to this forest to live and are invasive. I was walking in here with a friend and he cut in a buckthorn with a pocket knife, and I saw a family remove this plant by the pond, or Losie's pond, where I'll take you later. There are more invasive species that should be removed, so if you come by and see one, be sure to remove it to help it reproduce in a sustainable habitat. So all of the species, if it's invasive or not, can live in peace and live where they belong. This here is an example of a coniferous forest. In this place and up there are more coniferous forest trees. It's sort of a mixed up forest, like I said. So here, you see back there are more coniferous trees for productivity, like that train going by. Wait a second. Now, there were more of those big construction monsters back in those trees, cutting them down for building purposes. And right now, the tree and everything is reproduced and everything is fine up there. But I don't want to show really close because it's pretty much a landscaped woods. And me, I like all natural. A worker used this side of the woods as building wood and tore down trees such as oak, maple, and morewood. The vehicles in the woods really were scary when I went nearby them back when I could run and when I mountain biked back here. There was a giant construction vehicle following me around with its motor on. So when I go to think about Monster Jam, because vehicles can be really big, I think of them as carbon monsters. So, and that is absolutely true. The population of trees around here, of course, is still around, so the woods is still wild. But, of course, most of these trees up here are landscaped, so it's not that natural. And there's more of those pine trees ahead, which is also not natural, because most of the oak forest and the other trees are more like nature. Now, if you want to ask, there are animals that like to hang out in its forest. They like to be in the coniferous and broad sides of the forest, because I see them in both places sometimes. But the animals are hiding in their places and they do not want to be disturbed, so they come out to find a better home only. And animals are about most of the time at night out, looking around and doing what they can to survive in their habitat. At this time, while we sleep, the types of animals that are around here are white-tailed deer, raccoon. It's kind of freakish, but there's cougars. There's also occasional foxes, turkey, pheasant, badger, snowshoe hares. And in the winter, they are asleep. And there are many more animals around here to look at. So, as I hope for in the future, the forest stays healthy and in good condition by taking regulations, if any, needed. More nature becomes endangered. If that happens, I hope the DNR tags more animals to keep track of the organization and population. And if we can do it, I don't think we're as good as nature is itself. If we can plant more trees when needed, and the trees can stay around as long as there is life in this forest. I am Matthew McCarthy, and that is my biology project. Portfolio 2. It's on the ecosystem, and this is the ecosystem. I hope you enjoyed my video, and please like, comment, subscribe, show more people, share it around, and do what you can to make my channel more popular. And if this video is too boring for you, please watch my action videos, and I have more coming up of my action videos. Especially since we're going to have winter, summer, and spring. I'm so happy around here that we have seasons changing. Now, I hear the train, so see you later, everybody. GoPro, stop recording.